Hey guys, Omega Dark Mage here, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new deck profile for the July 2015 ban list. I'm doing volcanic trains. It's a combination of trains and volcanics, pretty much. Yeah, this isn't my idea or anything. It's been around, but I have been using it a lot in my Twitch live streams, and I've had a lot of success with it. I did make some changes to the deck recently since they banned Lavalval Chain, the only rank 4 that I actually went into, to be honest. So yeah, let's just go right into this deck profile. We got the 3 Express Knight and the 3 Daracrane. Standard stuff. You just normal summon this guy, his attack becomes 0, and this guy, if you summon a Earth type machine, you can special summon him. So these two go well together. Good stuff. We got the Exodius Ultimate Forbidden Lord. He's level 10, and yeah, he recycles all your monsters. Considering we only run 3 of each of these, that's actually pretty good for us if we're gonna end up having one of those stall matches or really long duel. You're gonna need to recycle your stuff. 3 Volcanic Rocket, just to search out our trap card, the Blaze Accelerator Reload. 3 Ruffian Railcar, really good card. It searches out our bigger Earth type machine monsters, so it's amazing. We got the Zephyros, pretty good tech card if you ask me. I'm not running instant fusion anymore since I just don't feel the need to go into rank 4s that much anymore. Like I said before, the only one that was worth going into was Lavalval Chain, and he's banned, so I feel like this card is better, and it's easy to put him in the graveyard. Yeah, I'll cover all of that later. And 3 Scattershot. Yeah, you need him to nuke your opponent's field, pretty much. 2 Galaxy Cyclone. 3 is too cloggy, if you ask me. Yeah, it really is. You don't want to draw into 2 of these in your opening hand. I mean, I run it at 2, so it's still possible to pull 2 of these, but it's better if you try and draw into your monsters first, because you want to be able to make your plays as fast as possible. You want as much consistency as possible in the deck, and I think 2 is a good number for this card. 3 Terraforming, pretty much just search out our field spell and thin out the deck. 1 Foolish Burial, you just put in Ruffian Railcar in the graveyard and get your search at the end of the turn. But you can also put in Zephyros if for some reason this card already hit the grave. If the Railcar's already in the grave for that turn, you might want to throw Zephyros in, or you can just hold on to it. It's up to you what you want to do. The Zephyros will help set up a rank 4 play though. 2 Pot of Duality. The deck has consistency problems, and you're not always going to get an explosive start, so this card could help patch up your hand a little bit. It could help put the card that you need in your hand to help set you up for the next turn. Yeah, so sometimes an acceptable opening would be to start off with Volcanic Rocket and, you know, get your search, maybe throw it in the graveyard if you already have this, and of course that would lead to getting one of these 2, and maybe with the Pot of Duality you can get the other one that you need. So it's a good card for fixing your hand. For back row, we only run a few battle traps. We run lots of traps, but battle traps, the type that disrupt our opponent. So we run 1 Bottomless, great against Pendulum, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Compulsory, great card. 3 Metal Reflect Slime. Alright. This card is really good in this deck. The monsters are level 10, and they have 3,000 defense points. That's really good. In the off chance you couldn't actually draw one of these, your Express Knight and your Daracrane, you might not need them. Because if you drew 2 of these instead, you could still make a rank 10 on the next turn. Yeah, on the next turn after you set them down, which is phenomenal. It really is. And let's just say you didn't draw a monster at all. These guys can defend you with their 3,000 defense. So yeah, they're good. The only issue I have with them is Trap Stun and Mystical Space Typhoon, but I'd rather these things get hit with Mystical Space Typhoon than my than the field spell. Yeah, so I think these are good bait for the field spell, protecting it from those types of things. Yeah, your opponent might be thinking, oh, he has a compulsory face down, possibly let's just MST it before I start my play, and they end up hitting one of these. The next card I run is the Blaze Accelerator Reload, one of the key cards in this deck, because this is the card that allows us to do the real damage to our opponent's field. Yeah, with the scatter shot and destroy their field pretty much. Sometimes you can set it down, and it's good bait for Mystical Space Typhoon and Galaxy Cyclone. Yeah, and you'll get this thing in your graveyard and pretty much be all set to destroy your opponent's field. You can also discard it with Revolving Switchyard, which I think is a pretty good play. Before the Banlist, Laval Chain could put this thing in the graveyard, which is just ridiculously good. But that's not possible anymore, so we'll have to settle for putting it in the grave from the hand or the field, depending on how things go. You can also destroy it yourself with Galaxy Cyclone. If you're playing a deck that doesn't rely on too much back row, then yeah, go for it, because these would be going to waste if your opponent doesn't have the back row for you to use these on. Yeah. So yeah, just use it on your own card. Super heavyweights don't run back row, so pop your own card if you have to. Sometimes it's good to have it on the field though, because if you happen to draw one of these, you can actually activate it right away. Send this guy to the graveyard right from the hand, nuke your opponent's field, and get a draw. So that's really good. So it really depends on the situation. If you open up with this card and your scatter shot, just try and set it down. I'd rather not send this card. I'd rather not send it to the graveyard for Switchyard. I'd rather send something else if possible, because I want to get that draw. Yeah, you definitely want to get the draw, guys. I know that it might slow you down a little bit, but if you can, wait it out a little bit. Patience is good. 1 skill drain, great trap card. Considering all our monsters have high attack power, so this card can clinch you the game if you activate it at the right time. Yeah, mid to late game, this thing is just insane. It really is. Once your opponent's wasted his MSTs, yeah, this card is very lethal. 1 Call of the Haunted. This thing can start plays on your opponent's turn, which I like. If you have a Switchyard in play, you activate this, maybe bring back one of these, and Switchyard's effect activates, bringing out one of these rail cars, which is just phenomenal to be able to do that on your opponent's turn. Alright, so now for the extra deck. I'm running 1 Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, wreck your opponent's back row pretty much. Chaos Dyson Sphere. I like this guy, and I'm running him because I have room to run him right now. And it's a good card, even though we don't run the regular Dyson Sphere, because otherwise we'd get the extra effect. But even without that extra effect, this card is very useful. You can get rid of a lot of annoying cards with this just by attacking. Just the other day, this card actually won me a game against a guy who played Hardened Armed Dragon Obelisk the Tormentor. He summoned Obelisk the Tormentor by tributing Hardened Armed Dragon, and he thought he had the game, but I was able to bring this guy out. I had my field spell, I had my Night Express Knight, and my Daracrane in hand. Summoned all of them. I summoned, these two, and then the Ruffian Railcar. So I had the 3 monsters needed to make this. I stole the Obelisk, pretty much, since this card's effect doesn't target or destroy. So yeah, that's why I was able to pretty much win that game. And it has a little burn effect, so that's good. 2 Sky Palace, just destroy stuff. If you have Daracrane attached, you detach Daracrane, you pop 2 cards instead of 1, which is just ridiculously good. The key card in this deck is Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superior Dora, number 81. Yep, this guy is amazing with his 4000 defense. A great card to open with on turn 1. Oh man, a lot of people have trouble getting rid of this guy. Let's see, we got the Gustav Max, 2,000 points of damage, but yeah, 3k attack and 3k defense is just amazing. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I like this guy though, number 81. I usually open up with him instead of this guy. Depends on the situation. Yeah, because this guy is like a Felgrand, but with better attack and defense. I really like that. Totally unaffected by card effects when you detach, and it can be used on other monsters too. It's your choice. And now for rank 4s. These monsters I barely make, but I do make them sometimes. 1 Black Ship of Corn, get rid of certain cards without destroying them. You can get rid of those Fire and Ice hands, which is pretty good. I think they also work on Yang Jing pretty nicely. 101, steal an annoying card. Heartland Draco, if your opponent has a really solid defense for whatever reason, you can attack directly with this. And he combos well with our face-up field spell, so your opponent can't attack him. Kestel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. This could actually, clinch you the match against like Toon decks that run like Field Barrier, because if they play Field Barrier, like I saw someone do the other day, and you happen to shuffle their field spell card into their deck, they're pretty much beat, because they won't be able to activate a new field spell card. Yeah, it says right here, field spell cards cannot be destroyed, but Kestel's effect doesn't destroy, it shuffles the card into the deck. Yeah, and it says here also a new field spell card cannot be activated. So yeah, if you see a Toon player run this card and you use Kestel on their field spell, they pretty much lost. Yeah, they won't be able to put down a new Toon Kingdom. Yeah. 1 Exiton, I never go into him. I usually win way before I need him, but in the off chance you do need him, he's a good option. And 1 Daigusto, just to shuffle the Scatter Shot back into the deck, maybe some other monsters too. And side deck I haven't really worked on too much. I have 2 Flying Seed just to stop the XYZ plays. Some Spell Shattering Arrows. These are pretty nice against certain decks, like Pendulum decks. This card, I don't know why this is in there. Mask of Restrict is actually way better, considering we run a field spell card already, so I don't know why Zombie World was in there. So yeah, if you're playing Monarchs, this is a nice little card. Vanities can be really good. Yeah, disrupting plays pretty much. Non-fusion area. Neither player can fusion summon. Pretty self-explanatory. Good against Gem Knights, Masked Hero decks. Good stuff. I already covered this. Master Restrict. Light Imprisoning Mirror. Great against Lightsworn, guys, and Satellars. 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. I don't even have to tell you guys what this is for, but I'll tell you anyway. Necros. This card shuts down Necros so nicely. It slows them down to the point where they can't make any plays, and yeah, it really kills the deck. It really does. 1 Light of Intervention. This is good against Shadals, pretty much. And, yeah, because they can't put their monsters face down and whatnot. Yeah. And, I don't even know how that's pronounced. Stygian Dirge. This just messes up your opponent's, you know, plays pretty much. If they're all about rank 4s, now they have to rely on rank 3s, assuming they have any. So this card can really disrupt the play. I think this deck is really strong, and yeah, I like it. I like the deck. Yeah, I'll just do a couple custom hands here. Right here we got an example of a hand, not the best hand, but not a completely dead hand. If you were to open with these 5 cards, if you were going second, you have more options because you drew Express Knight here. But going first, this isn't too bad. You can do one of 2 things. If I were playing this hand, I would probably play the Terraforming, obviously, and then put this card in the graveyard, the Blaze Accelerator Reload. Play the Foolish Burial to put a Railcar in the graveyard, and get this guy's effect to deal 500 points of damage, so you're already up early on. And yeah, I'll set the Mirror Force, obviously, and at the end of the turn, I'll get a search pretty much. For Night Express Knight or Derek Crane, I already have 1 search on those guys because of the field spell that I've already played. So I would have searched out Express Knight with my field spell, and at the end of the turn I would have gotten Derek Crane, so I would be set for the next turn. One more example. In this example, this is another like average hand, but it's not completely dead or anything. You can summon your Railcar, and you can special summon your Derek Crane. You can set these cards down. Yeah, these 2 cards. Skill Drain can wreck your opponent's play, and you can wreck a play even harder with Compulsory. So the deck has a little bit of consistency, problems, but it's not bad by any means. Right here, you got a perfect combo right there. And I would put Railcar in the graveyard to get a search. And yeah, I guess one more example. Search out 2 field spells with that, so you already have 3, so that's really good. Honestly, here I would just dump Railcar, get a search, and yeah, I forgot to mention you can only use 1 of these effects per turn, so yeah, you wouldn't be able to really do anything with the Express Knight. You just add it to your hand. I would just set this. Yeah, and at the end of the turn, Railcar activates, and you guys understand by now. Good stuff. Alright, so in my next video, I'll be demonstrating how this deck works. And I think I rambled on enough. I'd really get into all of this stuff. I'll let you guys figure out anything I didn't cover. I pretty much covered all the important stuff. So yeah, guys. I hope you guys enjoy playing this deck as much as I am. It's really strong. Really is. I think this can destroy a lot of things. Especially Cleave Forts. Oh man, since these guys are level 10, this deck wrecks Cleave Forts. It really does. So yeah, Omega Dark Mage signing out, guys.